So, Horus heresy. We got, regular sized dudes. We got tiny sized dudes. We got, titans. When are we going to see cruiser spaceships?
Oh, yep. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like spaceships.
Do you think it's possible?
You mean, are we talking about the return of Battlefleet Gothic?
Battlefleet Gothic.
Battlefleet Gothic.
The game, the miniatures game.
The miniatures game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come back. I think so.
Whew.
Why not? Everything else came
Mark
back.
it in your calendars, boys.
Everything else has come back. Why not the spaceships? If Aeronautica got a piece of time on a shelf, I don't know why a space Battlefleet niche whatever game couldn't. Yeah, I think it'll happen. It kind of would naturally fit into the, we have Legion Imperialis has all the tiny everything, and you can, in theory, now in the Horus Heresy timeline or world, so you can already play a multifaceted, map campaign with, grand battles of Imperialis and then smaller battles of or snapshot battles of Horus Heresy, like regular scale. So why not also have the space battle? Like, it's just 4x the whole thing and have every aspect.
Yeah.
The only part about it that, and Legion Imperialis has the same limitation, is if you go that route, there's only so many spaceships. Like, it's just, it's a bunch of Imperial spaceships that are painted in their
I think this kind of goes back to like is it does everything they make have to be forever, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously even like you look at the Aeronautica stuff, like it's pretty much gone now. I think you can maybe still get like maybe a kit or two, but for the most part they've transitioned all that stuff into Imperialis.
No, that's true.
And I guess same with Titanicus, like you can still get a Titanicus, rules and stuff like that, but largely that's kind of been retired into Imperialis as well. And I get the sort of like they would run out of things much quicker in a Battlefleet Gothic kind of area, especially if we're talking just like Civil War stuff, right? Because then you're just looking at like Imperial and then Space Marine ships. Yeah,
you could probably make some named spaceships and things like that, or they would just be like kits from the main kit that with like some pieces. I would love it if they could make them bigger, but the problem is like the scaling goes off. If you make the ships bigger,
table space,
then
right?
you got to play on an enormous table.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, it's like one of those games that I would be like really, really excited to play a little bit. But I don't know if it would need to have this like long-lasting release. It's like really niche.
It's almost great because like they could just do it as like a one-box thing.
Yep.
And then not have to make anything for like a long time for it, because if you're just doing Imperial ships and Space Marine ships, like it could just be self-included, right? Like
it should be like the what we eventually got to, which was for Titanicus. They eventually distilled it to just one. I think it's the whatever it is, it's like $100 or $200 box.
Yeah, the Horus Heresy box. Yeah.
And it's got some Reavers and some Warhounds, and then if you want a Warlord or anything special, you can order it off their website. Yeah. And that's it. Like, it should just be... They should probably do a Grandmaster Edition just to cash in on everyone's excitement, including myself.
Yeah.
And whatever you want, GW, $400, $500, maybe not $500, but I'll probably buy it. And then make the $200 thing that has like basically all the ships times 2 that you whatever, and all the main classes, and maybe you save a couple wacky interesting ones as like Forge World only, 15 plus.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that would fit with how they do things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do like named ships and
that would be neat. Yeah, and probably they could probably reuse the old rule set and tweak it a bit, make it a little less gamey, but. Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we did a video about Mordheim as well, and talking about whether that could come back or not.
Week.
I think out of the two, I think Battlefleet Gothic has the bigger case to come out sooner.
Yeah.
And that's just because I don't think it would be a 40K game. I think it would be a Horus Heresy product. And I think they've proven that like they want to do this like multi-game kind of format thing with Horus Heresy, so people can really they know that the clients that they have for that game are a little more mature. They're what we call like hobby veterans. They've been in the hobby for longer. Like generally people don't start with Horus Heresy as the first game.
They usually don't.
It's usually people that have been playing for a while. And so people are looking for a more, I guess, dynamic sort of like hobby experience at that point. That's a little more casual as well. So it's both dynamic and more casual.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're more likely to be like,
story-driven,
I've got my Iron Warrior, massive, because these guys are always like, I have like 10,000 points of Iron Warriors and stuff.
Sure.
Like, because that's how you collect a Horus Heresy army. You don't stop at 2,000 points.
You do not stop
because
at 2,000
if you did, you would have 1/100th of the models that they've put out, right? And then they're like, oh yeah, no, Legion Imperialis. Yeah, I want to build my Legion, like a proper Legion for that. So I have my massive Iron Warriors force for that too. Yes. And then they might have their like Titan Legion that goes with that as well. That they can play that game, or they can play them in Imperialis, which is cool because now actually Imperialis is doing for the first time with the new AdMech book they're putting out. It will have rules for just pure Titan forces. Finally, which is awesome.
That's great. Yeah,
really
you don't
cool.
have to take them as
Knight houses and Titan houses. So you can do both, which is really cool.
Nice.
So that's actually nice to see. So that game's like kind of really rounding out really well too now.
Yeah, it's another thing to collect if you're in that pile, Now I gotta get the fleet to go.
I have collected it. I haven't done much with it other than collected it, but I've collected the hell out of it.
Sure.
And then you got to add your fleet. You got to add your fleet onto to your guys too. You got to build out your Iron Warrior fleet with all the named ships and all the you can make Perturabo ship and all that cool stuff like that and. Yeah. I think that's kind of the idea, right? Is you're creating this like hobby universe for people to really like whatever they want to experience. You can give them that taste or whatever, right? Would it be cool if they did the same in 40 core? Yeah, of course, absolutely it would. But I think the problem is the commitment from Games Workshop's a much bigger ask.
Yeah,
right.
And again, comes back to like where to put it.
Right, where to put it. Yeah,
and this is actually almost a bigger, harder question for the Games Workshops themselves because they have to get it somehow to fit. Forget about the independence, but how is a Games Workshop or Warhammer Store gonna put this on the shelf? Because like they basically are, I guess, mandated, or they everything is they don't bookend anything. Everything's front facing, so they have to kind of make the main product line. That's why they does rotate things for space reasons, and they carry multiples of things on the shelf. I guess, but if you made 40K equivalents of like Epic with all the Xenos races and stuff like that could take up an entire wall somehow by itself. So that's a bit of a sad reason why we don't get some of a lot of people are always like, oh, when are they going to make Xenos like Epic scale? And you're like, probably never.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think
that sell all right. Like, where would they put it? And then that's another.
You'd have to do almost like. There's like battle group boxes they're putting out for Imperialis, which I think are brilliant.
Yeah.
You'd almost have to do it that way, right? Where you just like give.
You can only
this is everything.
Yeah.
And you just buy the army and like because I just can't imagine it being
like little blisters and
a whole bunch of little things. Like it would just be a nightmare. Yeah. And I know for those of you that don't haven't worked in a retail store before or having experience with the company, this is like Jay said, and oftentimes like a consideration that most customers don't think about, right? It was like, why can't they do this or why? And exactly. Yeah. But it is such a huge thing. Yeah. It's like wall space and how they have to produce and continue to produce items logistically in their warehouse and stuff. How they hold on to things, how they produce them, how many things are they going to commit to producing. These are all massively important logistical things that they are always thinking about.
Yeah, it's probably the number one reason why X or Y gets cut for something or gets moved or not restocked or phased out is they're just like, like there's some of them that blow my mind too. And I don't have and whether they do it correctly or not, or whoever's in charge or the algorithm, but like sometimes I'll look at like, it could be anything. It could be a 40K army. It could be, what is it? AOS Lumineth always gets me. I was like, this army generally has always been a top, 5 selling army in it, but like they've shifted 3/4 of it to the webstore only. They've just decided that we aren't going to stock a bunch of these like cool kits. And you're like, wow. that's really cutthroat. And
it is, yeah.
Like, even though the kit's nice and sells pretty decently, you know, I guess it's not Space Marines or something else or whatever. And they're like, well, you have to. And some of
the sales data they're using is I would call it inefficient, because like they'll make a decision like, you know, Lumineth's a great example, because like you have like the old Vanguard box that had Dawn Riders in it.
Right.
And so because Dawn Riders were in that box for so long, people weren't buying the kit on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And I say, so they look at the data and say like, okay, the Dawn Riders don't sell, so we're going to bump it for something else that sells.
Yeah.
And then they make a change to the Vanguard, put the new Spearhead out, and there's no Dawn Riders in it. Now you have Blade Guards in there.
Yeah.
But Blade Guards are still on the wall.
Yeah.
But Dawn Riders are not on the wall or in the Spear. So you get these weird things.
Scratchy,
and there's never really a correction done.
No.
So they kind of just go on that way.
Yeah.
I would say that they're not common, but like they happen.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just it's a lot of weird stuff like that you just, it happens all the time. People like call me and they'll be like, I'm looking for this, and I quickly look it up and I'm like, you're not going to find that on any shelf ever. Do you want me to order you one? And they're always like,
no. You're like, okay. but you're just like,
you're like, but you're the 17th store I've called.
You're like, not listening to me. You're not going to find it on a shelf. Yeah,
not find it.
Yeah. But
anyway, yeah, that's just part of the business, I guess, when you make so many things and can't easily, you know, in an ideal world we could have everything on the shelf, but
yeah, I think that's why, like, you know, that's why if I had to put money down, I would say like Battlefleet Gothic coming back is going to probably be as small of a contained thing as they could probably make it.
They could make use of the word exclusive release. Are you exclusive? Are you important enough to get this box?
The premium. It's a premium experience. For premium hobbyists.
You mean the regular?
They're just blowing wind up your bum or whatever. Feels good though. Feels good. Yeah. Buying that big set and cracking it open and having like the hard back. Yeah. Remember the
and then resealing it and
putting it in your closet, and being like, I just know they have it. And I feel better about things. You know.
The number of people that opened their Dominions when Scaventide came out was the funniest thing. Like, quite literally.
I'm one of those people.
I saw.
Oh my god!
3 or 4 people at my paint count desk here, or table, being like, Scaventide came out great. And they even bought some Scaventides. Yeah. But they put the Skaven, and they just did the like, oh, this is the next one in the queue. So
yeah. Oh man, I got Scaventide. I guess I got to take out my Dominion and work on that now, because this is getting real bad. I'm an edition. I'm double parked. I'm an edition behind.
Sometimes triple parked.
Parked. Oh my gosh.
That's another video. That's another
Soul Wars
good topic. Oh, Soul Wars. We don't talk about Soul Wars. Yeah. It's poor Sacrosanct.
Oh man.
Yeah. When's the next wave of Stormcast going to get killed?
Not soon enough. I can't believe they killed the Sacrosanct but left the Vanguard in. That was a bit surprising to me.
That's from that era.
Because they're from the same era, right? So that was a bit strange to me.
You mean you're talking about the crossbow guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're from that wave.
Because then they would have no artillery thing, and they're like, we gotta have one or whatever. And they made it a centerpiece of the army that you have to have.
How does anybody watch this video? Like we're talking about Battle of Gothic, but now we're talking about crossbow guys, and we just like the tangents are real.
We have to get to 20 minutes somehow. Okay, it's like a thing.
It's a corporately mandated 20-minute video.
We could stop here, but it's just it's extra garbage time.
Yeah, it's free content.
But the point is, there's not a lot to say about Gothic other than
unfortunately, it's true.
The trends would suggest that it's going to be Horus heresy based, which immediately, frankly, makes it a little boring.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
still very cool. I still want it to happen.
I will actually. Here's an interesting thing. Like I was actually going to talk about earlier, but I completely forgot.
There you go.
It's unlike the other games that they look at when they're making these like other specialist games or box games. Battlefleet Gothic doesn't have a lot of comparables in the marketplace.
No.
And the ones that they did have, I think, have failed pretty miserably.
You mean Drop Fleet Commander?
Drop Fleet Commander, yeah, because I think didn't it die again?
I don't know. All I know is like here's another miniature thing.
I feel like they're gone now.
Existing. I believe didn't TT Combat or some one of these
They saved them.
Companies buy up the assets, but this is we're tangenting into more topics, but basically it's that's they're in that pile of a bunch of like little games that were either developed or kickstarted or blah blah blah, and then it kind of didn't. Usually it's created by some people that maybe can't handle the process that is launching a game and delivering it, and or maybe just other unforeseen circumstances. I don't want to like belittle they tried and it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, a lot of these times these assets get scooped up by someone that can buy them for pennies on a dollar, and then they have the designs and the extra overstock and whatever was produced. So those little games are and they're usually I don't like TT, like these are all UK based, so you're gonna have a hard time seeing it in like
North America
numbers in North America.
Yeah.
So maybe it's still going on in the UK scene or somewhere in Europe.
Possible,
I don't know, but if I think of the market of like space fleet battle games, we had the Star Wars ones briefly,
Armada,
and then it died.
Which they've also officially said is gone.
Oh yeah,
officially.
It's actually one of their. I remember playing it a bit.
It was a good game.
It was fun to play.
Very fun game.
I think they wanted to make it easy to play, like because it was like they wanted it to make it like X-wing, and my problem with that is like, no, if I want to play with giant spaceships and I only get like a few of them, it's kind of like the BattleTech thing. You want it to be like extra crunchy. You want there to be like tables and charts and sections of the ship on fire and shields. And
absolutely.
Like, that's the fun of it. You want to be in your armchair drinking your coffee and being like full speed ahead.
You can't have this big hunker and just be like, I have 4 hit points.
I roll 4 dice and that's my turn. Like that's like
I did really like how they did. I really liked how they did the small ships in that game though. That was really
cool.
Small ships were fine. That was well done. Where they had their own phase. Mm-hmm. And they moved around. I thought that was really brilliant.
The squadrons the squadrons are cool because they were just zooming. They're easy to move. They're little round bases, and you just quick roll dice and hits and I think it was just hits and dodges.
The bombers would roll in the black dice or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that was done well. Anyway, and then what else? I don't know. The other games come to mind.
What was the Firestorm Armada? I was thinking of that. I was like, what was the name of that one?
Spartan Games or something.
Spartan Games. Yeah, that one was a flash in the pan for sure.
Never played it. Yeah, I think I remember being interested in it.
Yeah, it had some cool looking ships and stuff.
But
that's quite a while ago.
I mean, look, spaceships. Yeah, I think the market can only handle so many of those types of games.
Yeah,
you can, And the funny thing is, like, if they did bring back Gothic with the Xenos and all of this and that, it could be very good.
Mm-hmm.
But again, would they sell enough?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's it. Maybe if they've just made them like fleet boxes and it could be okay. Like we said, we like to say that they'll make anything. They can make anything they want, and it's like the designing and the process isn't as bad as it used to be or as hard as it used to be. And they've gone back and remade all these games, and the value proposition is different now. But I could see it come. I could see it leave within a short time.
And I think that's okay. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think because you're creating a whole new bunch of people that get to experience it and get their hands on ships and have fun with it.
Yeah,
I think that's part of. I hope Games Workshop keeps making things that don't last forever. I think that would be cool.
They could also there's probably a series of these products that they could only make they're like almost like a Christmas thing or whatever, or once or twice a year. They're like, oh, we're doing a run of these, like they're special, like their anniversary models. Yeah, it's like a From the Vault thing. Yeah, we got a new Gothic buy. It'll come. We're gonna get some out. They could even do a made to order for it. Deliver it. They could do like the launch with the big box, and then it's made to order for a bit. Like they could do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't think everything has to be an on the shelf item. I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
it's because then also stores they don't have to feel like, oh, we better carry this. Like, it's for an item that like you're almost saving the stores from themselves.
Yeah. Because
sometimes we're guilty of it. We're like, oh, this is really cool. We should have some of these, and then it just sits.
Legion
and then later on, you're like, why did I do that?
I have so much Legion Imperialis. Oh man, we're all guilty of this. Sometimes you're like because you're so into something, you think everyone else is going to be, and it just doesn't pan out that way. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, I'd rather be the guy who believes in things than to be the other guy, you know?
The real question of the viewers is like, yeah, are you going to get Gothic when it comes out, knowing that it's extremely likely to be just Horus Heresy, which means 10 different spaceships and that's it?
Maybe only 10 ships, you know, something like limited like that.
Limited like that, and are you still like, are you doing the, you know, Futurama thing, take my money meme or whatever, or are you just like, or are you like, wake me up when Xenos comes, which is never. You know, that's I guess the question there, and I guess ditto for the previous video about the Mordheim stuff. Like, are you gonna, would you jump on that if it was, you know?
Well, I know my answer because yes to both. Yeah. Hobby bucket list is we have to do some sort of layered map campaign thing. It has to happen.
It does have to happen.
You know, otherwise, you know, we can't let it go too long. You know, we've been trying to do this for 20 years. We need to make it happen.
I feel like that's a project for my 60s, you know.
60? We gotta wait 20 more years?
Maybe 50s.
Holy moly.
When are the kids in university? How old will I be?
50 years?
Will I be...
55?
Yeah.
Ish?
Early 50s.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Then you'll have the time for a multi-tiered map campaign?
Yeah, because then my wife and I won't want to talk to each other at all. So then we can... You know.
She might still want to talk to you.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, there will be those. You have extra free time, and you can only spend so much of it together.
True. You know? Yeah. I think your kids will hit teenager years, and you'll probably already be there.
Maybe that's true. Maybe my own kids will bug me to do it because they'll be into it probably or something.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Garbage Time.
Yeah, this week's edition of Garbage Time. It was 5 minutes.
We got into the weeds. Talk. We talked for Gothic. We got right to the point. We ran out of content really fast.
Completely ran out.
But if you like these kind of videos, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please check out our Patreon, Lords of War Games and Hobbies, and you can support us on there for as little as $3 a month, which really goes a long way to helping us keep making these great videos for you. Until next time, guys, take care.
Thanks. Bye.